All right, welcome to Dean Bodi Show. Dan, 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 dan. Dean Bodi Show. What's going on, everyone? How we doing? I'm sorry, honey. Sorry, honey, if I took you just a little too far. Yeah, too far. Man, tapping into some Van Halen 1. What an awesome album, man. You want to talk about not needing to cherry pick? Just get the album, strap yourself in, start with the first song, and you're done. Don't forget Dean Bodi Show, DEANBODI space show, and that's the YouTube channel, and Dean Bodi Podcast, Apple, Spotify, wherever you get podcasts. And deanbodi.com is the website. Good things coming soon. And we're having a great time doing this. And we're going to go down a little bit of a path today about, family challenges and the things that you learn as you get older. I'm 56 years old now. Where does the time go? And you look back on things that we went through as a family, tragedy, death, celebrations, divorce, this and that, and sibling energies and all of these things in between as everybody goes down their little path and the family starts to fork off and you never know what you're going to get. Right? Kind of like Forrest Gump, like a box of chocolates. You never know what you're going to get, right? So anyways, my point is we're going back to Miami into the Kendall house. And this is where I grew up, and what a great neighborhood. So many cool things happen there. Right across from Snapper Creek, right diagonal to Baptist Hospital where the kid was born, right up the road from K-Land. Little League football, Little League baseball, Village Mall is up the street where you get your comic books and all this stuff. Oh, we had the new section of the neighborhood. We had the old section of the neighborhood. Foot races, bicycle wheelie contests, Halloween like you've never seen Halloween before. Pillow sacks were my Halloween candy bag. You go around the whole wide perimeter, drop off the first load, and mom starts combing through it, making sure there's no razor blades and all that stuff back in the day we were watching out for, and sifting through the candy. And then we're going to go on the inside track through the new section into the old and around, dump off another huge pillowcase full of candy to comb through it again. I'm telling you right now, you would last the whole school year with how much candy that we got back in the day. Unreal. Such awesome memories. But as I mentioned to in a previous episode, my father passed away when I was very young. They built a great house in Miami. They were just on their way up. My dad had toy stores, 4 of them, in the greater Miami area, building business, just 42 years old, on their second, third house. He's moving at a good clip. Knowing what I know now, he's moving at a really good clip. From what I know, not only in my business relationships throughout the years, but, just finding a house, or did you ever purchase a home? I've rented my entire life. True story. I've come close to buying the house, but I've never for some reason wanted to, feel settled down. As crazy as that sounds, And that's just how I live my life. But lived in some great places. Just been doing the renting. No complaints. So far. I live in Hollywood, right beneath the stars. That's a little hum along from Warrant because I kind of forgot the words. Life's been pretty good so far. So far, so good. So far, so good. Janie Lane, Taken Way Too Young. Another one that fell in a hotel room because of addiction and this and that and did not make it to the next day. What a genius. What a footprint. Thank you so much, Warrant and Janie Lane, for your awesome music. Van Halen for your awesome music, man. You're hitting memory buttons like crazy. And, remember, do that. Find your faves and make your playlist. I'm telling you right now, it's a game changer. It does something to your tapping into what it needs to and pull yourself out of a funk. If you start drifting and you start getting bogged down by, oh my gosh, the news, everybody saying the same thing over and over again, all of this negative stuff going on, Dean Bodi is coming down the other road. Yes, it's going to get serious as we do with our own little topics, but we're going down our own little road as we do with Dean Bodi. Oh, and by the way, wow, hey Millie, doesn't he edit anything? And what's going on? I don't understand how he does it. No, he doesn't edit. No editing on this show. Dean Bodi, walking the high wire. No safety net. We do the show from beginning to the end. Put it in the can. Done. We're doing it daily. We're doing the teaser early. We're doing the main show later. 2 a day. We're going 365 days for the year on this pace. And we're bringing to you real stories. True stories. And you relate the way you need to. So, back to the Miami house. After they built this beautiful home, 3 months later, my poor father had a heart attack and didn't make it. If they knew what they knew today, they probably would have saved him. Let's get real. But back in the 60s, it was probably it was amazing the ambulance even made it to the house. I think about the Flintstones with the feet running on the bottom of the car and making it there, and the Keystone cops coming out with the stretcher, bringing them back. Oh, can you please hurry up? Come on. The things I go through thinking about that. And as I go through life and I think about what I know now, okay, and wow, why didn't you save the house that you purchased for $60,000 and now it's worth over $1 million? Even in my father's death, he still set it up so you were going to be okay and put all that in the bank to go through the rest of your years. Even in his death, he was set up. The stress, I can't imagine losing a true love. I can't imagine having to deal with that because my dad did everything, and, it's got to be something I'm never going to understand at my level. As a young boy, I went through my own psychological deals with it. I'm still going through it daily, still trying to find my father's voice. As hard as it is, I keep trying, and I know one day it's going to click. Okay? And my 2 older brothers, they deal with it the way they are dealing with it too at different ages, 9 and 12 years apart. Come on, everybody's going through their grind with it and their understanding. And these are the challenges, but you do what you think is best at the time, and you do what you have to do to not only survive psychologically, but to get down the road and piece your life back together again. Oh, how many times have I done that in my life? Fall, get back up. Everybody's got their rock bottom and all of this stuff. And it's like, I don't know how many bottoms I hit. Too many bottoms. It is what it is. You just got to pick yourself back up. Okay? So instead of worrying about if it happens, how about if we just stop worrying? I read that saying the other day, and it just knocked me right on the top of the head. It's the truth. And I started removing some of that. So, processing that and doing what you got to do. And all kinds of family moved into the house. And, my stepfather came into my life. And brothers were living there. And an aunt and an uncle. And all of these people were in the house. And everybody's trying to find their way. But in a way, it kept the family around and all the different energies. It was what it was. But, keep moving forward. And that's what my mom had to do. And that's what we all had to do. And we all kind of found our way. And looking back on it, I was walking around the neighborhood recently with Bodi. And as Bodi does, she puts smiles on everybody's faces. Makes me stop and talk to a neighbor once in a while. Oh, she makes me look at a flower on occasion. Oh, wow, look at that. There's 2 birds in the tree. Hi, birds. How are you? Stop to smell the roses once in a while. Stop to say hi to the birds that are chirping and all that, and not thinking about all this COVID, schmovid, pandemic, schmandemic. Right? It's gold. And take it and use it to your advantage, because most of it just keeps moving forward. All the other nonsense is going to have to find a way to get it worked out, and we're going to get into the planet times 2 or 2.0. It's coming. It's on its way. Strap in. In the meantime, try to be present time consciousness as much as possible. So I'm speaking to the neighbor as Bodi says hello and wagging the tail and hello. And we kind of talked about this a little bit and things that he's been through, things that I've been through. And he said that to me. Sometimes at the time you're going through it, you do what you got to do. At the time. That's all. And I'm just kind of processing all this stuff, and it's so true. You know, you do what you got to do at the time to keep yourself psychologically stable and move forward and try to piece your own life together and get this new chapter going, as challenging as it is. But you keep grinding forward. Right? And let me tell you, man, we moved from the house, and my mom and I moved into this apartment together, just the 2 of us. And the kids that were around that place was amazing. Total of kids. I just happened to land in the right place at the right time, even with that. It was a miracle. Kids all over the place. The pool, the tennis court, the playground, the ping pong inside the little clubhouse, and the little weights that we're working out with, and the pool table. And all of that came along with that was a kind of a blessing. Just got lucky, you know, before we moved up to Lauderdale and went to high school there. But wow, you know, and that's how you kind of navigate through things, and you deal with things you got to deal with and all of that. Dr. Dean, dropping knowledge. Easy with the coffee. Tip of the day. You don't need coffee every day. You don't need a pot of coffee every day. You're stressing out your adrenal glands that make cortisol. You rise the cortisol. And, you know, your blood pressure doesn't need it either. Especially if you're on blood pressure meds or whatever, it's going to crank it up. Cortisol levels go up. Stress goes up. Adrenal glands get stressed. Go with the light roast coffee. Higher in polyphenols. Better than the dark and the burnt. Okay? And in moderation. Mostly water. If you want to do a little bit of that, don't do too many days in a row of the thing that you shouldn't be doing. It could be red meat. It could be the coffee. It could be the sugar. Once a week as a treat. The 90-10 rule. 90% good, 10% treat. Not the other way around. Right? So, you know, I just wanted to take you down that kind of like memory, not really memory lane, but the lessons about even when a bad tragedy happens, how people piece their lives together and go down the road anyway, you know? It makes you want to reach out to some family you haven't heard from in a while. Say hello. We're only here one time. No dress rehearsal. This is it. Right? And you got to kind of make the best of it. And, you know, maybe it's time that you reached out and tapped into that a little bit. And, hey, how's everything going? But just before you don't have the opportunity, you know? So, awesome stuff. Challenges are good for everybody. We all go through them. And that's just the way it goes. So, let's just take a look at, you know, I can't say enough about Bodi and what she's doing for me. This is the Bodi of the Dean Bodi Show. Good girl, Bodi. Good girl. Good girl, Bodi. She's the best girl in the world. Ho! So, making me stop and talk to people I wouldn't talk to. We go on walks and places I never would even go. Down trails here. Not to mention the dog park and the characters I've gotten from the dog park. The humans are more characters than the animals. And we all don't get along. I got news for you. Everybody's dog is supposed to be the greatest, and it's your fault, not my fault. Tell your dog to leave my dog alone. But luckily, 90% of the time, Bodi gets along with everyone. She's like in the middle, medium size. So we get to go on the big dog side, and we get to cross over on the little dog side. Sometimes big dogs are nasty. Sometimes little dogs are nasty. But she's been playing with the big dog since she was 10 weeks old, and she is a tough girl. Gets along with the pit bulls, gets along with the German shepherds, and most all of them. But on occasion you run into it. But it's kind of like when we were in the playground, remember? You would have these challenges just like dogs go through. It's the same thing. Some people like you. Some people don't. Some people chase you around the playground, and some people you chase around the playground. Some people you fight, and some people fight you. Same thing. Can't get along with everybody. That's just the way it goes. But Bodi's taking me down these journeys, and it's been unbelievable. What I've learned from Bodi is priceless. So, unreal, you know? And I was thinking about, I'm going to take a little bit of a sharp right turn right now, because I was thinking about how most of us have these fantasies about being a rock star. Let's be honest. And shout out to my buddy Joe, the best bass player I know. And you're sitting there. I have these dreams. I'm in the audience, and all of a sudden, or I'm in some kind of nightclubby area, or a band is showing up, and a popular band. I just so happen to be there, and all of a sudden, they make an announcement. The drummer's not feeling well. They can't go on unless somebody out there knows how to play the drums. And of course, I raise my hand and I walk down, and all my friends are like, "Well, where are you going? You know how to play the drums?" I'm like, I give them a little wink, like I have this kind of secret. I get behind the drum set, and it's just 1, 2, 3, din-it-in-it, and I crush it. And these fantasies are so cool. And that's what's making me laugh, because when I did take drum lessons, I could not transfer that fantasy guy and the air drumming and the dashboard and all the stuff I could do in my head to the real deal. Not so easy when you get in the hot seat. Oh, I can't even imagine the guitar. Oh! So, anyways, that's just been a fun thing for me to talk about too. And look, again, the challenges that we go through as families, and you start to pay attention to the details as you get older, and I'm dropping some Dean Bodi wisdom right now. Read between the lines. Start to look at it, and you reanalyze things as you don't have all the answers as things are going on, you know? And you don't learn from the things you do right, you learn from the things you do wrong. So you keep moving forward. Every day's a new opportunity, a new day to do something different. Tap into some family you haven't talked to in a while. It's going to be unbelievable just to catch up a little bit, you know? Give a little kind of family massage to somebody and reciprocate over the phone. Even a quick message through Facebook or the email or whatever. I just touched base with a good friend of mine, let's just call him Andy, that I grew up with. And man, we had some great times together, but we lost touch. I went to school. He went the other way and got married. Next thing you know, 30 years goes by, not a word. But that's what happens as you're coming of age. You take these hard forks and you start missing out on your old friends, because you're never going to find that again, those memories that go back that far, ever. Respect to that. It's amazing how time goes by, but what I'm trying to say is, who else are you going to have 30-year plus memories with that someone? They say you can count your real good friends on one hand. Can you really even get that far with the ones that you've kept in touch with and that go back that far with those special memories? Going back to like Kendall Point when I was a youngster in elementary school. Oh, that's when I kissed my first girl. Okay, we'll talk about it. Are you ready? Well, here we go. we're going to the old section now, and I'm going over, we'll just call her Susan. And I'm going over her house, and we get into her room, and this is before, like, my first girlfriend. I'm talking first, like, kiss. No going steady stuff yet. We're not there, but we're trying to get at least a kiss for the first time. This has to go back 10, 11 years old. In her room, and back in the day, we used to play games like Spin the Bottle and 7 Minutes in Heaven. And the Spin the Bottle, you go to somebody's party or birthday party, and you're sitting in a circle, and you spin the bottle, and whoever it points to, you have to go kiss. And you're like, I'm hoping, okay, make it land on Susan. Please land on Susan. But anyways, we had a great times doing that stuff and starting to make these connections. It was wild. And not to mention, the next day, you got to see everybody at the bus stop, and all the rumors start flying around, and it gets a little bit wild. Talk about growing up and all that, all those energies. In Susan's room, yes, the door was open. On a previous episode, I talked about my first girlfriend, how I messed up the song lyrics and sucked the romance out of the room. This one, but the door was open too. Respect to the parents, of course. And there's no way the parents back in the day were going to let you go in there and close the door. Ever! That's never going to happen. So we're in the room, and we started this. There's this bingo game. You know the bingo game where you turn the thing, and it's got the little balls inside, and then you stop, and the ball falls down, and it's got a number on it. So we decided to play the game, not 7 Minutes in Heaven, not Spin the Bottle, but whatever ball comes out of the thing, whatever number's on it, you kiss for that many seconds. Okay? Whoa. I'm like, come on, 39. And then when the thing would come out, and it would be like a 3 seconds. But I had some long ones, I got to admit, and it was wild, man. And God, I have great memories of that. And she was awesome. And it just takes me back to these little things where we start making these connections that we're never going to find ever again. So cherish those relationships. I'm so glad that I touched base with an old friend, haven't spoken to in over 30 years. We actually talked on the phone, started talking about some stuff, and it was mind-blowing. And we're going to keep the connection. Doesn't take much, but it's amazing how 30 years goes by. You know? Listen, Dean Bodi Podcast, wherever you get podcasts, Apple, Spotify, Dean Bodi Show, DEANBODI, space show, YouTube channel, DeanBodi.com. I hope you're having a great day. Let's make it a great weekend. Remember, we're going to come out of this thing bigger, better, and stronger. We're coming at you with real stories here, real life stuff, Dean Bodi. No safety net. No editing. We just grind. We go right through it. Walking on the high wire over here, Dean Bodi. Have a great day. We'll talk to you tomorrow. Bye.